That's what it is.
Okay.
For kind of a marker.
Hey,
sort of
that
thing.
works.
Hey, TexarkanaFYI.com. Thanks for following, sharing, liking. You know, we like to bring you stories of community interest over all the bad news, right? Meet our friend Brian Jeffries. Now, Brian, musician all your life.
Yeah.
Been playing with Split Decision around here over 25. How long now?
About 30 years.
30 years.
Something like that, yeah.
Split Decision. Now, not only is this man an amazing guitarist, but he has a neat side business here that I just kind of wanted to focus on a little bit.
Yeah.
Guitars.
Yep. Making lots of guitars these days. It all started about 3 years ago during the COVID.
That's what you were
thing.
saying, and that's why I find it so interesting. So many people, when that pandemic came in,
Yeah.
they all started.
Doing different things.
Yeah.
I think it gave us an opportunity to reflect a little bit on what we've been doing with our lives over the last how many years, you know, and we thought, hey, maybe it's time for a change of some sort.
And start looking within, maybe a little.
Yeah, and part of me is I was teaching high school over in Paris, Texas. Didn't like it. Saved some money up, and I was going to buy myself a custom guitar.
I'm sweating like a pig.
Oh, you're
You
fine.
see that?
I was going to buy myself a custom guitar. So I went to look for some online. Couldn't find what I wanted. I saw somebody on on YouTube, using a CNC machine to build his own guitar. And I thought,
And that's the machine that's running
Yeah,
out there
that's
right
the
now.
machine that's running out
Yeah, okay.
so I thought, I can do that. So, or I thought I could. So I went and I took my money. Instead of buying a guitar with it, I bought a CNC machine, bought me some wood, and you know what? It didn't take but just one guitar for me to realize, hey, I can make a business out of this. And so I have. And what's unique about these, and I've had some pretty good success. I was in Dallas.
Oh, I'm going to show you
Yeah,
some
yeah.
here in a minute, some beautiful guitars. But
Yeah, I was in Dallas for the guitar show. I've already been to 2 shows.
Wait,
Last year's.
was Guitarlington last weekend? Or?
Well, yeah, that was the one in Arlington, and I didn't go to that one. But this is the one. This is actually, this is even a larger show that happens in May, which is downtown at the convention center.
Right.
And we had a booth there. I sold 13 of my guitars there, and for a custom guitar and for a new builder,
Right.
I felt like that was a pretty good success.
No kidding.
And just to let you see what kind of cool, all my tops are exotic wood tops. So what you're seeing here is what's called a camphor burl top. I use all high-end hardware. This is a Seymour Duncan pickups with push pots for single coil, dual coil splits. I use gold fret wire, Evo gold fret wire.
And the inlay with the circle.
Yeah, and the inlay with the
That's
circle,
neat,
which is
too.
cool. In fact, you can probably see some other pieces of wood that are.
I see it kind of cross.
Yeah, that's part of this wood
Now,
that I've sewn into that.
Can folks make contact with you and kind of custom design?
Yes, yeah, I do custom stuff for people too. It's usually a little more expensive for the mere fact that we've got to redesign the whole guitar, but we've done that. I've done it a handful of times for clients so far who wanted a particular thing.
We wanted to show you kind of the process too, but the machinery's running out there. We couldn't have done it. He just starts with a block of wood.
Yeah, oh yeah, everything is just wood, and I order my frets and cut the fret wire and do the whole nine.
So here's one of those.
Yep, that's a bass guitar neck.
So you cut everything.
Every part of it, the fretboard, the actual neck, and then look at the back of this neck. Nobody's doing this that I know of. I call it weaved wood, and this is solid wood all the way through.
Oh, that's a solid piece?
That's a solid piece all the way through. Solid piece of Wingate, Paduke, and maple stripe that goes all the way through the whole neck, and then the fingerboard gets glued on top of that.
Now my most favorite guitar, I have a guitar that B.B. King signed.
Oh wow, yeah.
It was worth about $100, and he signed it.
And now it's worth a lot more.
So I hung it on the wall. That's the only way I'm ever going to make art with a guitar.
Sure.
But these custom, I don't know. I know what I'm thinking. I don't know how to say it because I'm not a guitarist, but.
Well, what I've done is my approach was this. I thought, let's go ahead and take a familiar design, a familiar look, which would be more of the Strat and the Telecaster. Let's take those designs and kind of update them. Let's make them more 2000s instead of back when they were.
It's definitely a custom.
So it's kind of a custom play off of this. This one's a custom play off of a Telecaster.
Right.
I do cool things like these are magnetic back plates. so you don't have to actually have screws for that kind of thing.
Yeah, so you can real quick get to it. Yeah.
I use a machine screws for the neck, so you don't actually have to use wood screws. That kind of messes up the neck joint after a while, and you have to fill that back in. So I get around those kind of things. I use a trim system a lot in my own plane. So these are designed to where you can utilize the trim system and it stay in tune. So you can. You're right back. The whammy bar.
Yeah.
So I've been using that for a long time. It's got locking tuners. This has got some Spurzlo locking tuners on the back of this one. So yeah, they're just tripped out. Oh, and feel the weight of this.
Oh man, that's light.
It's light, and the reason it's light is because
I mean, that's
oh yeah.
very, very light.
Right. That.
I knocked that off. I'm sorry.
Oh no, this is still in production, so it's gonna have some parts that fall off.
So is that what you do? Just kind of tinker around and decide this is the one I'm going to do, or
I kind of have in mind what I'm going to do before I go into it, because I draw everything up on the CNC machine first.
and you know with the technicals of it, you know, you can make double humbuckers. This,
Oh
that,
yeah,
and the
oh
other.
yeah.
I mean, there's all sorts of things.
I'm a
you can
Seymour
do.
Duncan dealer as well, so and if you go to Seymour Duncan's website, you'll find probably over 100 pickups.
Tell us how to get your guitars.
Well, I have a website. It's bcustomguitars.com.
bcustomguitars.com.
Yeah, and the B is just a letter B. bcustomguitars.com. So you can find me there.
Yeah, where's the cutout? The B.
There's one. Well, on this one, tell you what.
I see a B.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
There,
there it
that's a B1 right there, because that's the model of this one. Give me that guitar behind you.
This one right here.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's.
Yeah.
Look at that one. That was.
So that's
What
more
kind of
my
wood is this?
This is called a burl, a maple burl, and these little inclusions where I had to put a resin in those, so it's a black resin that covers those.
I saw one over here that you've done that with.
Right,
Too.
and then the back of this I have some interesting woods. This is a black limba. I've got another one of those weaved wood necks where I'm using multiple different kinds of woods on that.
Man, you are a real craftsman with it. Was your dad like into woodworking?
Yeah, he was. In fact,
Did you pick it up from him?
A little bit, I think I did. Now, you know, my father had passed away a few years ago, and he didn't know that this was the side of me, which I hate that because he would have loved this. My granddad was a woodworker. I remember growing up, my father had built the homes that we lived in, that kind of a thing, you know. So maybe I had some of that floating around in me somewhere, and it's finally starting to come out a little bit. I don't know, because I never did. I didn't even own a saw at the time.
Oh, really?
At the time that I bought this rig, and now I own
The
a whole shop full of
workshop.
a whole shop full of tools, because you need all the tools to do it with. But yeah, it was just one of those things that I fell in love with and thought, hey, let's
And made a business out. You know, a lot of people bought food trucks.
That's
so.
right.
You know, I mean,
All kinds
just
of things, yeah.
finding your thing, and I think now you found something, and you really hit on something here. You keep at these conventions, man.
Yeah.
Get you a Brian Jeffries custom.
There you go. That would be
so,
cool.
So bcustomguitars.com.
Yes. And I want to make a note. Cody Pappas is doing the wiring for me. So
yeah.
Cody's a good friend of mine. He makes the amplifiers.
Yeah, he's
and
my
all.
doctor's brother.
Yeah. And he's a good friend, and he does a lot of the wiring for my pickups and stuff for me.
And he's always been real smart with it.
Oh yeah.
So
real good guy.
But Brian Jeffries, thank you so much
Hey.
for taking a little bit of time. Let me
Thank you, Jeff.
interrupt you on your
Not a
guitar
problem,
making
dude.
venture here.
No problem.
So thanks.
You betcha.